You already know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another random recap. In this video, we have another off-season topic. For this off-season video, I wanted to continue the trend of ranking quarterbacks, as my last video, I did NFL quarterbacks. So for this one, I'll be bringing back the college videos by starting off with the SEC. You know, since it's my conference, it only makes sense. I did one last year, a lot of people liked it, so here we are again. And with this video, it doesn't take rocket science to explain how it works. I'm going to rank each quarterback in the conference from number 16 to 1. Pretty much it. I don't really have any more explaining to do. I'm just going to go over the quarterbacks who I believe are starting, and I'm going to go over where I believe they rank with, of course, my description. Quick disclaimer though, before we do get into the video, once again, I am not a professional, by all means. Most likely, I'm wrong on a lot of these ranks. You should have seen last year's video. I look like a professional dumbass the way everything just flipped around. The bottom half of the list jumped to the top, and the top of the list went to the bottom. It's crazy. But at the end of the day, that's just football for you. You can never get it right. But with this one, I'm probably still wrong by a good amount. This is all just fun in my personal opinion. I do ask though, if you do think otherwise for some of these ranks, please let me know down below in the comments what you would have done instead. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts. Also, all I do ask is if you are new here, please subscribe. It does help the channel grow and does help get my name out there more. But with all of that being said, let's get into ranking every quarterback in the SEC. Coming in at number 16, Jared Curtis. This one's an easy ranking, and it's something I plan on doing as I did last year with most true freshman players. For starters, a very talented quarterback coming out of high school. I mean, you kind of have to be to get ranked the best out of your entire recruiting class. Over his 4 years at Nashville Christian with the Eagles, he would end up throwing for 9,738 yards with 128 touchdowns to only 25 picks, while rushing for 2,277 yards with 49 rushing touchdowns, totaling over 12,000 yards. The fuck? I mean, talk about video game numbers. Damn, that is something right there. And because of these stellar performances throughout high school, he will put himself on the map as a 5-star prodigy known for his elite physical traits. So with that, just about every team in the country would try and sign him, with the Bulldogs ultimately winning the sweepstakes in early 2024, where he would stay committed until December 25, when he would flip to Vanderbilt with large expectations to start the 26th season as a true freshman. Which, if I'm correct, that really is the only reason why he did flip from Georgia. It was just because Gunnar Stockton coming back. It was obvious, you know, Curry Smart is not going to start a true freshman. Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia just bounced, or at least he was, you know, at the moment still trying to get another year eligibility. It was obvious, it's an easy spot to win out. So yeah, that's exactly how we got here today. So despite showing a lot of potential to be something very big down the line long term once everything can get rolling, his first year shouldn't be much different than any other true freshman quarterback starting at the college level. Take Bryce Underwood for example. Had the flashes here and there, but struggled for the most part, mainly with his inconsistencies. Nothing wrong with it though. Obviously he's going to learn and improve as he grows into the system. I mean, there's growing pains. But of course, you're still going to have those few people who set expectations way too damn high when they know it's a huge jump skill-wise. I mean, the best you're seeing now all either sat behind somebody or at least started at smaller programs. For Curtis, he's going to be starting in the system he just learned while facing mostly SEC competition. At the same time, we're just about the best talent plays every week. Not to mention, he's also the only quarterback on this list without any type of college experience, including sitting on the bench and learning. So without saying he's not going to become somebody, because I think he's got a great chance, first year I say let's cool down and let's see what he can do. Like, you know, without seeing him play, I can't invest all my chips towards him just yet. This one is surely bound to change. I know this rank is going to fucking skyrocket. People are going to call me idiot. You can say what you want, but as of now in the offseason without any gameplay from Jared, or the supposed to be now rebuilding team, I got to see it to believe it. So give me Jared Curtis, number 16. Coming in at 15, we have KJ Jackson. At the moment, I want to say it's KJ. I want to say it's him. Am I sure? No, I know as much as you do. You know, I believe the battle is still going on. You know, they still have not chosen between the two. So it's either Arkansas is going to be getting the backup from last year's Memphis team or the backup from their very own. AJ did not have much experience at Memphis outside of 2 games. And KJ himself does not have much experience either. He saw very limited time, only being in the game when Green was hurt or just in blowouts. If you ask me, however, I think it's going to be Jackson just because he showcased more upside in a short time than AJ did. Plus, he's already been in the system for a hot minute, which means he's got more what it takes to run this offense as someone who's just learning it. That's 2 years of sitting versus barely being there for more than a few months. Either way, somebody's got to start, and because we ain't got a damn clue on who it's going to be, it's hard to rank it properly. My money says it's KJ just because of that experience overall and he's been around the system. But at the end of the day though, does it really matter who it is? It's Arkansas. You're going to be disappointed whoever they stick out there. They either go 4-8 or be 7-6, with their main objective of the season just not being the worst team in the SEC. And looking at this schedule, shit, I mean, they got a long way to go, so good luck to whoever starts. You're going to need it. Team's got more holes than a block of cheese. I'm going to put whoever starts at number 15. Coming in at 14, Philo. So how do we keep this one short and sweet? Let's see. Limited experience, transferred from Georgia Tech to Florida for an easy starting job because 1, Lagway took his talents to Baylor after a horrific season that not only got his coach fired, but his ass benched midway. I mean, it was pretty clear he was done with the school. And 2, their new offensive coordinator Buster was a part of the Georgia Tech system. Aaron sat under behind Haynes King. So it makes sense he would tell him, hey, you want a starting job? Follow me here. So it can only mean good things if your new offensive coordinator says, I got a guy here who can ball out. Because, I mean, I doubt he would stick his neck out vouching that he's a good talent just for him to go and play like ass. You have to at least be decent enough for him to get to school to accept your transfer on just his word. You ask me, I'm a bit cautionary with this one just because if he didn't even stand a chance at Georgia Tech when it came to starting over a quarterback who went undrafted or just didn't believe he even had a chance once Haynes King was gone, I'd begin to start questioning if he's got anything with him to begin with that says the potential's high. He's barely played, and for all the time he has played, he's got a 2 to 3 touchdown interception ratio. So yeah, not saying he's gonna suck so bad, don't pay attention, but I wouldn't exactly get my hopes high either. Anyways, for Florida, they need this bounce back more than anything. I can't say I blame them entirely for taking a bet on an unknown talent who the coordinator swears can turn this offense around. It's a risk worth taking. If he sucks, expectations for him this season were not going to be that high. He'll probably get benched for Jones if he doesn't do what they ask, and if he does work out, fantastic. They won't completely suck then like a lot of people are projecting. And with Buster's track record as an OC and John's resume over at Tulane the last 4 seasons, I have a good feeling they know what they're doing. Call me a broken record, but again, this is one of those we'll have to see first before judging. Just maybe a game or two, that's all I need to see. Because this offense is going to be either really fucked up or they're going to surprise a lot of people. No in between. So unless Philo proves himself, which there's a chance it could still be Jones, I'm going to rank him here at the bottom with the others, putting him number 14. I am hoping this is another Joey Aguilar situation where everyone doubted him coming into the season. They said he was going to suck. They said Tennessee wouldn't do much. Then they proceeded to do the exact opposite of what everyone said and ball the fuck out. Now, I don't know what the hell happened to Aguilar. I mean, last I saw, he got denied another year. So with that, I think they're handing the keys to McIntyre, who, not gonna lie, I don't know much about. I know he's tall as shit, though, and that he was a 4-star prospect for the class. But is any of that enough to say he's gonna do good? No, not so much. But taking into factor it's Tennessee, I heavily doubt they would start somebody they know clearly isn't ready for the Rocky Top spotlight that follows when playing for a school like this. So simply, I'm going to trust the coach here and say he's got something to prove. Now, if he is hot ass, I mean, the rank checks out. If he plays good, then it rises. But because he's still an unknown talent and has yet to take the field, I can't take a guess in the dark and say he's top 10, even top 12. Plus, there is still the slim chance it's actually not him and it'll be the 5-star recruit they just brought in. Or even that one quarterback from Colorado who started like 3 games. I forgot his name, but I know he hit the portal, and if I'm correct, he's on his depth chart. So there's a 5% chance it could be either one of them as well. The only reason I'm so hellbent it's going to be McIntyre and not them is just because he was under the system last year while Aguilar was playing. So he's got a better idea of what they're looking for in a starter than the other 2 who just arrived on the spot. Again, whether he's good or not will determine how this rank moves. Benefit of the doubt, first time starting, cannot say much on the guy until he gets past it. So either he makes a name for himself or he gets benched by week 7, because fuck me, this schedule is loaded. So if he doesn't get to a hot start fast, then they're going to be in a deep world of trouble. Should be interesting to see how this one goes. For now, I'm going to put the redshirt freshman at 13. And at 12, we got Kenny Menchi. Lots and lots of questions and concerns with Kenny. I still really wish he got his turn in Notre Dame. But it's all good. Carr's really good himself. Before and after the year he just had, if you were keeping up with their quarterback battle, you would know these 2 went through hell battling each other. It wasn't a case of one was clearly better. No. It was so damn close that insiders were giving out word Kenny won, then another said Carr won. I mean, no one truly knew who was actually better because how tight they were in comparison. Freeman even said it could have went the other way around and it wouldn't have made much of a difference. They're both very talented quarterbacks with something to prove. So as soon as I saw that, I knew it really wouldn't be long until he put his name in the portal. I just imagined somebody who sat that long would eventually become the starter unanimously. But I guess not. So after 3 seasons of riding the bench behind Hartman, Leonard, and now Carr, he would commit to Nebraska. Then he would flip again, and not even a week later for Kentucky. And this is where the questions and concerns come in. It's not a concern of if he's talented or not, because we know he's got the tools if you've seen him step foot on the field. The man can play. The $1 million question being asked here is, for somebody who's still unproven, how will he do in his first real season now competing in the SEC? That's really it. I mean, it's going to be a challenge. I do like the fit, however. I do like the coaching staff they got, and if everything clicks, I genuinely think Kentucky found themselves a hidden gem. I'm not down to talent whatsoever. I just gotta see it happen first before I rank him any higher. I talked about it more in my Trent Report video, but my thoughts remain the same. I still think he's a very talented quarterback. I still think he has a lot to show. And I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. He's just got to do it first before I can give him the official word. I'm going to rank Kenny Menchi number 12. Coming in at number 11, Keelon Russell. Roll Tide. Man, we are back. At least for now. I hope we're back. I can't say last year was much of a failure. Simpson did perform past my expectations, and we did win a round in the playoffs, while still losing in the SEC Championship and getting our asses bent over by Indiana. So while not all bad, I was looking forward to a fresh start at the position with Keelon Russell. I wanted him to start last year. Now he's finally taking center, and as much as I wouldn't mind Austin Mack either, we need Russell to take us back to the promised land, or at least just keep us competitive within this conference. Let's face facts. Ole Miss gonna make some noise. Texas is going to do Texas things. I mean, you can hate them as much as you want. They're going to find a way to the top. Georgia whooped our shit in the championship. LSU might be a sleeper. And then you have the Aggies. Oklahoma. I mean, it's bad enough they're projecting us to lose 3 games entirely. So we need Russell more than ever to prove everyone wrong. I mean, I don't need the guy to be Bryce Young 2.0 like everybody else in the community's hoping for. I just need him to light a fire under his offense and avoid the struggles we faced with Simpson. Unlike Simpson, however, I expect his dual threat abilities to carry us stronger as he makes the case to being one of the top rising stars in college at the moment. Everything Russell's done from high school to this spring suggests he should be nothing but elite when everything gets running. I'm telling you, just give us a more consistent receiving room and a much stronger run game, he'll be perfect, especially a good O-line. Give him a good O-line too. Give him all that, he's going to blow up past top 10 ranks in no time. But as I've done with other quarterbacks and will do for the other conferences, I cannot rank completely all potential. Bias me wants to throw him in the top 10 already. He's set in the system, he has learned what it takes, and I believe he'll handle the pressure perfectly. But since I have to be unbiased as possible for the video, I gotta be fair and let him play first. I gotta at least let him prove it before jumping to conclusion. I mean, we have a tough schedule ahead of us, but as always, I know we'll find a way to pull through. And if we don't, I blame DeBoer's bitch ass. You already know how it goes. Roll Tide, give me Keelon Russell, number 11. Coming in at number 10, Kamario Taylor. This is one of those where I'm going to invest my chips early and say this is going to be a sleeper quarterback of the entire conference. If there was a quarterback who I think is going to blow a lot of minds, for those who don't even know his name yet, it's got to be Taylor. I mean, you could say for just about any quarterback, but if you saw us start against Ole Miss or Wake Forest, you know, this dude is a walking highlight reel ready to explode on the field. Not a lot of starts, but when he did, it was fun. Like, you bet your ass, this kid's electric. As I just mentioned, he started against Ole Miss. Very impressive, throwing for 178 yards, rushed for 173, and had 2 rushing touchdowns. Then they wouldn't start him again until later on against Wake Forest, where he would once again put his dual threat abilities on display with 63 rushing yards, 241 passing, 1 touchdown through the air, and another on his legs. Again, despite the loss, it was made clear this kid has a shit ton of promise, and this program has something special right in front of them. I just wish we got to see more rather than Blake Shapen, but hey, it's not like, you know, Shapen was all that bad. I'm just saying with more starts, it would help us get a better idea on what he can work on and what he's really good at. All we have is 2 starts, and the word of the coach will tell us he's going to be elite. For Taylor, if he can remain consistent and healthy, because during the Wake Forest game he did have a few check-ins just to make sure he was alright, he'll be fine. If he can remain consistent and healthy, he's going to be good. And for the program, you better hope that exactly happens. Because for as depressing as their football has been, a game changer like this is something you could really use. My minimal expectations, a bowl win. Something like the Liberty Bowl, Pop-Tarts, I don't fucking know. They make a bowl out of anything nowadays. But at the very least, a bowl win. I mean, if he could perform at the level people are expecting, or just at least how he looked in those 2 games, a 7-win season should be the minimum to call his first season a success. It's the SEC after all, and 7 wins in this conference, let alone for this team with their previous history, is a gigantic win itself. Anything after that is just gravy. But with his talents, I think it's very possible. I'm telling you, don't sleep on the name. Give me Kamario Taylor, number 10. Coming in at 9, Austin Simmons. It is so crazy that a year ago, this dude was supposed to be Kiffin's next prodigy, the Ole Miss chosen one. You know, already graduated early, played baseball for the school, sat behind Dart and behind the system entirely the last 2 years. It was pretty much written on the walls, he was next up, and then before you know it, he's hurt, 2 games in, 4-5 touchdown interception ratio, and never went back into the starting spotlight. In other words, he got his chain snatched in a nutshell. He was the guy until a much better guy came in and stole the moment. So rather than stay and compete for the QB1 spot in the spring, which I had a feeling he was going to do it anyways, you just don't lose the position like that and still sit at the program like, oh yeah, I'm going to get that spotlight back. No, I knew he was going to dip. So with that, he hit the portal and he'll be taking his talents to Mizzou, who's in need of a starting quarterback themselves, after Pribula hit the portal taking his bags to Virginia. Not a bad spot. Definitely one of the better systems to land yourself in when it comes to the SEC. Especially with their elite run game, one of my favorites last year entirely. Receivers are solid and the defense is pretty good itself, so he's got a good squad around from top to bottom. Now, I don't want to say he's guaranteed success that he'll be a top 5 name by the end of the season, but he's in a spot where the pressure won't be as high and he can grow at his own pace compared to playing with the Rebels, where his first 2 weeks were put on blast immediately with his struggles. Still a big program, but you get what I mean. There is a difference. For example, quarterbacking at Texas versus quarterbacking at Auburn. Obviously, one's going to get you more attention and you're expected to pop off right away, because if you don't, the media will crucify you. So with the Tigers, he'll have that time to settle in before balling out. Shit, I'll give him this one though. He's leagues better than that Zollers guy they had. I don't fucking know what happened to that guy, but it was torture watching him try and play quarterback. So Simmons' unknown ceiling is better than anything else they come up with before week 1. Hell, if it wasn't for the injury, I can't even say they'd be in the position to land him to begin with. Chambliss might have never reached the stardom he's at now. Simmons might be heading back to Ole Miss as we speak if he doesn't go down to start the season. You can't just view the situation and say Simmons sucked, it's why he transferred. I view it as he's a good raw talent facing an unfortunate scenario, and now he's going to a school where he can start right away rather than sitting back on the bench. His potential says he's the elevator this offense needs. His floor says he's still a quality starter that can lead a team while putting up good numbers. So with Austin Simmons, he's unknown till he gets the full go-around. As long as he can remain healthy and this team can out-polish him into a better player, he's going to be a stud. When it's all said and done, the tools are all there. He's got everything you want in a star. You just got to help him get there. Either this rank moves up for the greater or sinks for the worse. Will Simmons bounce back to the level he was once viewed at, or will he stay where he's at now? Coming in at number 8, Marcel Reed. This one's a tricky ranking. Some might say he's too high or too low. He'll give you performances that say he should be in Heisman talks. Then the week right after that one, he'll shit the bed and make you forget his name in those said talks. When you think of some of the best quarterbacks in college at the moment, with him, I just have trouble. Because it's like, again, some games, he'll really have you thinking he's that guy, and then he'll have moments with Texas and Miami putting his ass on a billboard for everybody to see. South Carolina nearly did it too. If their defense had not folded in half, I really wonder what they would have said then. It's an impressive win until it isn't, when you realize despite an impressive comeback, you cannot ignore the mistakes he made throughout the entire first. Reed's got the talent to make you fall in love with this game. He really does. I cannot take that away from him. Talent that for most would say you have a future possibility in the NFL. But then he's also got flaws to make you question that same game, and if he really has what it takes to be a top pick in next year's class, or even the year right after. He already doesn't have the largest frame, doesn't have the strongest arm, struggles with processing, has slow decision making, accuracy tends to be inconsistent, and he doesn't perform well against immense pressure. So lots, and I mean lots, to still work on with this game. Issues that were covered for the most part because of his surroundings. That Aggies roster was loaded. It wasn't like he's throwing up numbers with scraps. He had good players he can count on, yet still struggle when it really mattered. And that's why he confuses me. He's good, but not great. Can he be great? Of course, anybody can, but it requires him to play like a star. He's got the tools to do it, he just needs to put it all together. And with the schedule they have lined up for 26, he's being thrown under the spotlight for a big year. If he can take these games, ball out, and show he's grown out of these weaknesses, he's easily going to rise the name in the ranking. But assuming he plays the same, if his game doesn't improve upon what he's shown already, I'm going to leave him here somewhere around his rank. I mean, his floor is still better than the names below him right now, at least for what we know, and he's going to probably perform at an above average level just like last season with the flashes here and there, but the names above him showcase to be more polished talents as individuals rather than a developmental project who still needs to put the pieces together. So until he gets more consistent, I can't say he's any better than this. I'm going to put Marcel Reed number 8. Coming in at number 7, Byron Brown. Out of every school he had the choice to attend, he chooses this one. Auburn, are we serious? Roll Tide, jokes and bias aside though, Auburn got themselves a good one. Really good one. I mean, hell, even a dark horse Heisman candidate at his best, if everything can go right. I mean, we still don't know how he's going to stack up against SEC defenses, and that's the biggest reason I got him sitting here at number 7. It's one thing to put up crazy numbers at South Florida, it's another to do it against Georgia, Alabama, LSU, you get the point. Doing it there versus doing it here at Auburn, two completely different things. But man, I mean, what he did at USF was just some bad shit levels of just insane. Over 3,000 passing yards and over 1,000 rushing in a single season. Do you realize how crazy that actually is? Only 11 quarterbacks in FBS history have ever pulled something like that off. Like, you don't accidentally just put up numbers like that to not be an absolute stud. Not to mention the cherry on top of this signing is that he's reuniting with his head coach from South Florida, who knows exactly what this team needs to get the best out of his talents. It's a damn home run pairing. You can't look at this and say it's gonna fail, it's going to be good. Like him with this coach and a new team, it's just peanut butter and jelly. It's something he's thrived under already. I mean, it should make the transition a whole lot smoother than most transfer quarterbacks normally would have, jumping from one team to another, or should I say conference to another conference. But with the jump, the one thing I just still need to see is whether all of that translates against SEC competition. Chances are, though, it probably will, but you know, nothing's ever guaranteed with this game, so I'm going to need proof before I go spinning my mouth. He's going to be the next best thing in a minute. If he goes out there and beats someone like Tennessee, Georgia, Ole Miss, I mean anybody, you know, just give me a statement win against one of the big programs, I'll be ready to boost this ranking. But again, I want to see him ball out first before ranking it too high over guys who've already made their cases in the conference. With this move, Auburn might actually make some noise. Not too much, I mean, it's still Auburn, but something about this team does feel different. They've got a proven playmaker leading the offense, and if that O-line can actually hold up their end of the deal, unlike previous years, don't be surprised if we're putting Byron Brown in top 5 talks entirely for the year. Not even just within the conference. He's really got the talent to make all of that possible. So let's just see if the team around him can help him get his name there. It's either they're going to go absolutely crazy and shock a lot of people, or Brown's going to be a Ferrari in a trailer park. We've seen this story plenty of times. I'm going to put Byron Brown number 7. Coming in at number 6, John Mateer. Definitely one of the tougher quarterbacks to rank on this list because I genuinely think he could finish way higher than probably this number. I mean, the first couple weeks. Top 5 name. Like, we saw a good amount of the flashes all year long to see why Oklahoma wanted to do so bad. Then the dumb injury happened, and after that, it just never felt like we were getting the same quarterback. You could tell it took an effect on him and his team. The offense itself just lost a lot of its explosiveness. The accuracy of Mateer wasn't quite there, and you could tell he was not 100%. However, even with all of that, I mean, the talent is still clear as day. Just go watch the Michigan game, go watch the Auburn game, Alabama, whether that's the first matchup or the playoff game, which as a Tide fan, I'll tell you, he's a tough son of a bitch to play against. Go watch it. You'll see Mateer's not afraid to use his legs, and when he's healthy without a fucked up thumb, he's got more than enough arm talent to make every throw you ask for. So the biggest thing with him for me now is just putting it all together. For starters, cut down on the turnovers. Like 11 picks to 14 touchdowns does not scream top tier. It says you're a liability. 3 picks versus Texas, 3 picks versus LSU, a pick 6 in the playoffs. You know, just cool it. Just stop handing the ball away if it's damn charity. He didn't have this issue at Washington State, so I know he's capable of it. But, you know, actually show it. Second, and most importantly of all, stay healthy. A healthy OU does go a long way. Getting hurt does nothing but tank the season and his future draft stock. Saying this year is going to be his campaign for how teams view him heading into the combine. If he can do just all that and the team around him clicks, I really think he's got a shot to finish as one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC if he isn't already for some. If you have him higher, I completely get it. For me, he's only here until he performs consistently at a high level like he was doing before the injury for an entire season. Even if it's up until week 6, it's good enough for me. I just gotta know he could do it again now that he's at 100%, and the team around us should be much more improved, ready to make another playoff appearance. Which for me, that's my minimum expectation. I think fully healthy, they're going to go on another run in the conference. Putting Matira at number 6. Coming in at number 5, Lenores Sellers. If only he was somewhere else, I swear, if only he was anywhere else that can actually give him an actual O-line and an offensive coordinator who isn't a complete fucking moron, he would have done so much better, and I don't even know with this one. A system that can actually run their offense to maximize his abilities rather than restricting what makes him special to begin with. No shit, he's gonna play bad when your scheme sucks pure ass. They know the guy's a dual threat, then they don't want to play him like one. I just hope the next guy knows what he's doing with Sellers, but as of now, they've done a poor job of taking advantage of having a quarterback like this. You know how many teams will bend backwards just for the chance to have him behind their system. It's crazy how teams can see talent like this and proceed to do absolutely jack shit to help them out. The fact he didn't transfer shocks me the most. I would have went somewhere with a proper coaching staff who can get me ready for the draft, or just a large pop-off season. Like, don't get me wrong, he's far from perfect. I don't even think he's fully polished. I still think he's got a lot of raw traits, but he sure as hell ain't gonna get any better learning under this team. If anything, he regressed, and it sucks because we've seen what he could be at his best. And with the Gamecocks, well, they suck cock. They don't give him what he needs to be where he needs to be at. So unfortunately for the down season, I'm going to have to knock him down a bit compared to the number 2 spot I had him sitting at going into last season. Funny, am I right? Everybody thought that he was going to have a pop-off, and then, you know, he played like garbage. I mean, just like everybody else we expected. Nussmeier, Lagway, I mean, everybody we had in that top 5, yeah, none of them held up pretty well. So I'm going to have to drop Sellers just a tiny bit here at number 5. Not too much because it's not entirely his fault for the decline, but a decent part of it was his doing. So he's not entirely out of the clear. I mean, there still is lots of things to work on for sure. That said, I still think he is, if not the most talented quarterback throughout the entire SEC in terms of just raw talent. You know, the talent's unmatched, and the upside he's got when you unlock that potential is terrifying to think about. He just needs a production to match it, and a coach that can do it. All of that can happen. We're talking a top 10 pick right here. If his year looks similar to last season, he might not be as high in draft talks as we were expecting. The season right here is very important. People know the tools he possesses. They just want to see him come through and put it to work. So if the team around it can hold up compared to the mess he had last year, which they did say it should be much better, I'm expecting a big bounce back. Sellers will stay here at my number 5. Coming in at number 4, Sam Leavitt. 2 words, Lane Kiffin. Bam, all I need to hear. Keeping it a buck, you can hate the guy all you want. I think he's an absolute clown show the way he left Ole Miss hanging around come playoffs. Pretty fucking selfish dude. But putting hatred aside, we all gotta admit, the dude is an offensive-minded genius. Definitely a tad bit overrated, I'll give you that one, but he is still greatly rated enough to say he's one of the best at the moment. If there's anybody, and I mean anyone, who can flip a program around and get shit back on track, it's definitely him. And the moment he landed in Death Valley, he was already making primetime moves to make sure his plan follows through. Starting off with the biggest move of the offseason, signing Sam Leavitt, who was notoriously on everybody's radar as soon as the transfer portal opened up. As soon as that happened and the rumors of him leaving Arizona State were true, pretty much everyone wanted a piece. Ultimately, with him choosing LSU, I'm just gonna put in my 2 cents and say it's NIL Lane Kiffin. But because of that, you know, giving him a dual threat weapon like Leavitt was just asking for Jackson R 2.0. Like, this ranking might seem high for some people who want to point out, well, he's new to the SEC and the competition level's different, which, fair enough. But to me, not only is he a top prospect with lots of talent and potential who I was very high on in his own conference, it's just common sense. You know, you pair any elite quarterback with the right head coach and it's gonna be money. I would find it hard to believe a quarterback as talented as Leavitt would not be thriving behind a Lane Kiffin-led offense where he basically designs it to squeeze just about everything he can get out of his guys. If anything, him failing would come more to a shock than him succeeding. I ain't saying he's got to win a national championship for this to work out, but at least finishing top 5 in the conference as a team should be expected. And with the team projected to do really well, I'm expecting Leavitt to make a leap and become one of the top quarterbacks for the 2026 season. So until he proves this rank is justified or this rank should be much lower, I'm just going to go ahead and invest my chips and say I'm going to leave Sam Leavitt here at number 4. Coming in at number 3, Arch Manning. Okay, I know this one's going to piss some people off. Some people might say, oh, he needs to be higher, he's number 1, or why do you have Manning so high? Which I get it, I do. But you know, respect where it's due. he didn't play much better at the end of the season. He closed out looking more like the player they were hyping him out to be compared to when he started, because hot damn did he suck. It's almost like we shouldn't give that level of glaze to some player with little experience, mainly, I don't know, maybe because his last name? Looking at you, ESPN, dumb fucks. I mean, everywhere you look, they had Manning ranked #1 for the preseason, best quarterback out of everybody, let alone his conference, even had him as the hypothetical Heisman. Week 1 hits, and he gets bitch slapped back to reality with growing pains week by week. And then finally, out of nowhere, it clicked, and now he's playing like a top 3 quarterback within the conference for the last 6 weeks. See right there, that's the Arch Manning everybody was talking about. That's the Arch Manning you could say will contend for the Heisman if he can do it for a full year. That's the Arch Manning who deserves the hype. See, now you can give him hype because now you know what he can do. I just hate the fact that they hyped this dude so damn high all the way to the moon before even letting him have one official start this season. Over those last 6 games, he was giving out nothing but bangers, carving out defenses both on the run and through the air. Not to mention looking way more comfortable running the offense compared to week 1. So not only does he look good, but you also have Texas going out of their way to add even more talent around him with Cam Coleman joining an already loaded receiving room. And then the run game itself, it also got a large boost with Hollywood joining the room. So I mean, the excuses are gone. If Texas does not make something out of any of this year, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. They got weapons everywhere. You got one of the best coaching staffs, one of the best defenses, and possibly one of the best quarterbacks. If they don't even sniff the playoffs or an SEC championship appearance, I'm going to be disappointed. I just hate seeing good rosters go to waste. They got a good team. A team that can give others a run for their money. Keyword can. The question is, will they? And now that right there is up to the team and mainly up to Arch Manning. Will he take that next step to keep them in the hunt? Or will he crumble under pressure when it gets too high? He's got a tough schedule ahead, so there's only one way to find out what he's about. I want to see what he did for those last 6 weeks for an entire season. That is the only thing keeping him at number 3. Does he flash potential to be number 1? Yes. The talent's obvious. The upside is also very obvious. And I honestly wouldn't be shocked if he does end up finishing as the number 1 quarterback in the SEC. Hell, you have some people right now who are already crowning him number 1. For me though, I just can't put him there yet, just mainly because the 2 above him have already proved they can do it all from week 1 to the very end. With Manning, we got the teaser. Now show us the entire thing. Let this season be the breakout the media's hyping it up to be. He is still going to be the most talked about quarterback just because. So prepare for what the season has to bring. Manning is my number 3. Coming in at number 2, Gunnar Stockton. Not even going to lie to you, he shut me the fuck up real quick. If you're an older viewer of mine, you should know where I ranked him last year. Somewhere in the lower half, and I said some pretty dumb shit. I didn't believe what I said then, and I still don't believe I said it now. I was like, oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. Georgia's cooked, blah, blah, blah. He's not the guy. And, you know, he's not gonna do as good as, I can't believe I'm saying this, he's not gonna do as good as Carson Beck. See, now that's saying something because Carson Beck's kind of shit himself, but you get the point. There was really no hype with Stockton in last year's offseason. I didn't believe it, and just about every single person, including me, doubted what was gonna happen, which was him and his offense making defenses look silly. All he did in his first official year starting was go out there and lead this team to yet another SEC championship. Brought to you by my Crimson Tide. Our asses got absolutely belted. Craziest part about Stockton in general is he's not a quarterback who's going to why you the second he takes a snap. He doesn't have elite speed that makes him dangerous or elite arm strength that sets him aside from other people that puts him in a rank of his own, but what truly sets him aside from most quarterbacks going into next year is the clutch gene. With Gunnar, he knows how to win. Every time the lights get brighter, week after week, big opponent after another, doesn't matter what school you throw his direction, it's not going to affect his performance whatsoever. He's going to go out there and he's going to play his ass off 4 quarters straight. You really want the win? You're going to have to outmatch the grit he brings to the field with this offense. Now, I will say this though, he is definitely going to have a lot more pressure on him this season. I mean, a lot of people now know what he's capable of. And Georgia did take a massive hit on the depth chart. So don't expect everything to look exactly the same. Some parts of the offense did take a step back. But if Gunnar is anything like last season or even better, they'll be just fine. So this is where we find out if last year was just a great season but nothing more, or is he really one of the best quarterbacks in college football? I think another deep playoff run will lock his top 3 status, even another SEC championship. Any of those 2 are enough for those still doubting. If you ask me personally, I think he's already up there. You can't find a lot of quarterbacks right now with the dog mentality and clutch factor he provides when the moment gets big. I'm expecting another big year. Give me Gunner Stockton all the way up here at number 2. And coming in at number 1, Trinidad Chambliss. I think this one's a unanimous agreement. I think a lot of people have Chambliss at their number 1. Either he's number 1, number 2, or he's at your 3. He does not slide out of the top 3, I don't think, for a lot of people. And it's for good reason. I mean, if you could take one look at that playoff run and tell me Chambliss is not the best quarterback in the SEC, I gotta hear you out. Because there is no damn way you can argue any other quarterback making that type of run while not only losing your head coach, but making the type of magical plays he was doing against some of the best defenses. I said in my Chambliss video, he's just a larger Kyler Murray with less speed. And I ain't talking NFL Kyler Murray, I'm talking Boomer Sooner, which if you watch college football around 2018, Kyler was unstoppable until he wasn't. I mean, he ran into my tide, it was bound to happen. Anyways, my point is, just like Kyler, he's a special player with an X-Factor playstyle, and the playoffs showed it for those who weren't aware already. He nearly dragged Ole Miss all the way to the national championship, only coming a few plays short. After nearly beating Miami in a really good matchup. Prior to that, he knocked off Georgia in what I'd like to call Game of the Year, where up until the very last minute, you finally knew who was winning because how back and forth the game really was. That performance right there is when everybody who wasn't paying attention to this team all season finally realized, oh shit, this dude's legit. And then we turned to the regular season, which we can't forget what he did there. He led the SEC in passing yards, while making your favorite defense look stupid. Every time a play broke down, somehow he'd find a way to escape, throw a dime downfield, or just take off for a huge gain himself. Could never count Ole Miss out because as long as Chambliss was on the field, they always had a chance. That's what separates him from everyone else on this list. He's not just a good quarterback, he's a great quarterback. An elite player who changes the entire game the second he steps foot on the field. Ole Miss getting him back is probably the biggest win of the offseason because without him, I don't think they're anywhere near this conversation. No Lane Kiffin, no Chambliss, Austin Simmons is gone. I'm not even sure who they would have had next. Of course, there's no need to worry about that. Obviously, Chambliss is coming back. He got his extra eligibility, which I will say, as much as I do like him, I like the game of college football more, and I think him getting another year was kind of unfair. That's just my really only complaint. Besides that, though, I'm ready to see some more Ole Miss football. And if Chambliss is able to pick up right where he left off, I don't see any reason why Ole Miss can't make another deep playoff run. Looking at the regular season schedule, the only teams that do worry me are Oklahoma and Georgia, but outside of that, I expect this dude to keep doing what he did all last year. Make magic happen and get the W. For me, there's not another quarterback in the SEC at the moment who impacted his team more than Chambliss. And that's exactly why he's here at my number 1. And that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching another random recap. I really hope you did enjoy my rankings. I tried my best to make sure I was unbiased as possible. You could say that except for the Alabama pick. But yeah, I tried my best to make sure every ranking felt fair. I gave it enough detail and I gave enough reason behind each pick. Remember, you're not meant to agree with me. The whole point of rankings is everyone has a personal opinion. My top 3 might not be your top 3, and that's alright. If you did disagree with me, please let me know down below in the comments what you would have said instead. Also, let me know down below in the comments which ranking you would want to see next. Do you want me to rank quarterbacks from the Big Ten? Quarterbacks from another conference? Quarterbacks from, I don't know, the Sun Belt Conference? Okay, maybe not that one, but you get the point. Anyways, I hope you did enjoy the video. I will see you all in the next Random Recap.